So today's pattern comes to us from Eric Leiser's Book of Fly Patterns from 1987. The pattern is called the Stalker Caddis, and I'm tying it because I was fishing the Savage River this weekend and it was one that I wished I'd had. I was seeing a smattering of light cream-colored caddisflies in the air. Not a ton, but enough of them that I wanted to fish something like this. Now I did end up fooling a couple of fish with my standard elk hair caddis. One of them was a pretty nice fish, and side note, I would have had some great fishing footage for you in this video, but my GoPro strapped to my head was kind of pointing up in the trees, so that happens. Anyway, the Stalker Caddis, it's a light cream-colored caddis with the wing tied pretty sparse, and I think what's going to make this thing float is a pretty bushy collar hackle up front. But it's a pretty simple and pretty cool looking pattern, and for the dry fly fishermen out there, definitely worth having a few of these in your box. So there it is in the vise, a Stalker Caddis, the nighttime version, which is basically a very light colored, not white, but kind of creamish caddis. This is size 12 barbless, one extra long dry fly hook. We're going to use some cream thread. This is a 70 denier. Let's catch it in, take it back to the bend. And let's put a little wax on our thread, preparing for our dubbing, which is just going to be a cream colored, but whatever you use for your dry fly dubbing. This is a superfine, a natural would work as well. And it's not going to be a huge noodle. We're going to dub it up to about 2/3 from the back. Okay, let's see if we can make this lumpy noodle work. Get a couple wraps right here, and we can tighten it up if we wanted. I might have too much dubbing, we'll know in just a second. It's a little lumpy, but I think we're going to make it work. So for the wing, just a small to medium-sized tuft of the lightest elk hair you have. Go ahead and put it in your stacker. And this one isn't a natural, I think it's actually bleached. The tips are still kind of dark. But you see that? Not a big tuft right here. And we're going to catch it in a little bit past the bend of the hook. What I'll do, go ahead and spin my thread clockwise, cord it up, so I'll get a pretty tight bite here, and it's going to flare in the back. That's fine. Several wraps, but before I let go of this with my material hand, I want to go in here and just try to snip all these short. It just makes it a little easier if you do it now before you let go of the stuff in the back. And you don't have to cut it terribly short. In fact, you probably don't want to, because you want enough of these little stubs that you can tie it in and get a good hold on it. But what I'm doing now, just smoothing this area out so it'll make it a little bit easier to wrap my hackle. But take a look at it and, you know, look from the underside. If you've got any of these hairs that are coming way off to the side and you don't like that profile, now would be a good time to go ahead and trim them. I'm not, I think we're fine, so I'm just going to go ahead and catch the dry fly hackle in, and just a creamish light colored hackle right here. And what I do, I just hold it around. That's a little bit long, so I'll pull it around till I get a little bit shorter. I think that's good right there. And what I like to do with a lot of dry flies, I will strip off a little bit more on the side that is going to be closest to the hook, the side that's going to hit the hook first. And sometimes that will help you keep the fibers from going back, too far back on you. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you know, I'd like to try it anyway. And we're going to heavily hackle this. It's not that elk hair that's really going to make it float, it's this hackle right here. I mean, the elk hair certainly isn't going to hurt, but this is really what's going to make it float. So a good 4 wraps of this, you know, depending on the quality of your hackle, you might even go with 5. Is that 3 or 4? I can't remember. Go 1 more. Now we'll catch it off right here. I've got a few of these fibers going forward that I don't really want. See, they're kind of crowding my eye up there. So I've got a decision here. Do I go ahead and snip this excess feather off, or just pull everything back and then work on my head and then snip that later? So I'm going to go ahead and pull everything back, take a few wraps, make room for my head and whip finish, and I got 1 or 2 hairs going forward. I can go ahead and snip these before I do the whip finish. Can always do it afterwards. It's probably not a big deal. And let's go ahead and get our whip finish in here. I got a couple of rogue fibers from that hackle that we can contend with here in a second in our cleanup. So a good 4-turn whip finish right there. Now we got this little piece. I'm trying not to snip all the extra hairs here. And there we go, that's really it. I do have a few going forward, a little bit crazy right here. I'll snip these before I put some head cement on it. And then I think we're fine. I got one crazy hair sticking up right there, but we got a decent floatable, fishable fly. I just finished editing this video and oh my gosh, this was so boring. I don't even know why I do it. But first off, anybody who has stuck around and watched this far, thank you, you rock. But let's spice this one up just a little bit. And since I haven't done a decent book review in a while, let's do a merchandise giveaway, just a random giveaway. Got some cool stuff here for you. T-shirt, embroidered logo, nice sweatshirt, falls here, also embroidered logo. And we're gonna do a hat, cool Savage Flies hat, and a mug, and then just a couple stickers. Now, heads up, I can only do this, it's gonna be a heavy box, so I can only do this to viewers in the US. And, oh yeah, shirt and sweatshirt sizes, all I have are large and extra large. So hopefully that'll work for one of y'all. I haven't even thought of a code word to use in a comment. So just leave a comment if you're interested in winning any of this or all of this stuff, this little package. Just leave a comment and say clownfish. Clownfish, you know, like the old cartoon kids show Nemo, Finding Nemo. I think he was a clownfish. I don't even know, maybe. But anyway, some orange and black fish called clownfish. So leave a comment and say clownfish in it. This video is going to air on Wednesday. That'll be September 4th, 2024. If you're watching this 5 years from now, this stuff's already given away. I will go to the random comment picker on Saturday and I'll just pick a winner. I'll let you know, reply to your comment that, hey, you won this stuff, send me your address and I'll get it on the way to you. So that's it, everybody. I really do appreciate y'all sticking around and watching these videos, even some of the videos that can get a little bit boring. I do appreciate it, and I know some of them are just not as good as others, but, you know, I try. Anyway, that's it. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in a couple of days.